Welcome back to the PC Engine Files. I'm your host, Mr. MegaManFan, and this is SonSon 2. And if you're about to ask, whatever happened to SonSon 1, just like where did Leonard's Part 1 through 5 go, I'm actually going to tell you because it is a very helpful way to understand this PC Engine game. The original SonSon was an arcade game released by Capcom in 1984 based on the Chinese novel Journey to the West. The player is a monkey boy. Not my words, their actual description. He is a monkey boy who fights his way from one side of the stage to another, eventually reaching the statue of Buddha, battling bats, rats, and, quote, mad bombers along the way. So, they made a sequel to SonSon, but they only made it for TurboGrafx/PC Engine in 1989, but it is the linear sequel and stars Son Goku as he has to rescue his three friends from a mysterious villain. And I do mean mysterious because if you watch the intro after I hit the run button here, when he walks on the screen, thundering, shaking the concrete as he goes, he is completely shrouded by a silhouette with a question mark over his body. He is a literal mystery man. This game is actually a very interesting mix of multiple different elements. I would start out by comparing it to the Wonder Boy games in terms of scrolling left to right, collecting fruit as you go, defeating enemies with your weapon, which appears to be a staff that you can extend outward towards the creatures that you're fighting. But then I would say it's got some RPG-ish elements because you're not collecting these fruits to restore your health as you might in a Wonder Boy game where it's constantly depleting. The only thing that depletes your health is getting hit by the enemies or jumping into lava as you see there. So what you need the fruit for is Zenny. Yes, it's an actual currency. Each one you pick up is worth a different amount of Zenny, and you accumulate the Zenny until you get to a shop and buy the items that you need to progress in the game. Now, I would say sort of RPG because I don't feel that you're actually leveling up by doing this, but you are. I guess now this is where I would compare it to Wonder Boy 3. You are making progress in the game by acquiring the items, by killing the monsters and going to the shops to get the items you need. So it's got elements of two different Wonder Boy games. That's quite remarkable for a title from a completely different developer from a completely different franchise, but it is what it is. And what it is actually quite a fun game to play. SonSon 2 is one of those ones that benefits from being easy to follow because the text at the top is all in English, Zenny, Life, Magic, and Score. And the items, when you look at them, are pretty self-explanatory. Like, you can tell a heart is going to replenish your life, a bottle is going to refill your magic, a glove is going to be an item for your hands, and so on. So this is perfectly capable of being played with no knowledge of Japanese whatsoever. It's actually kind of remarkable, now that I think about it, that this game didn't get localized for the West, which is perhaps even more ironic given that it's based on a Chinese novel called Journey to the West. So go figure when it comes to that, or Goku in this case. And that is Son Goku, the main character you're playing as, based on Sun Wukong. His three friends that he sets out to rescue are Hakai, a pig with a pitchfork, Sagoju, a kappa, and Sanzo, a man traveling to retrieve Buddhist sculptures. His enemies in this game are the Red Oni, the Paku Paku Flower, Sutagan, Boro, Patapata, and Amajin. The bosses in the game are the Immortal of Tiger Power, Red Boy, a fake Son Goku named Goku, the immortal of Dragon Power, Ginkaku, Kinkaku, Demonic Lady, and the final boss is the Ox King. Now, I did not get anywhere close to the final boss, but actually, I had trouble getting out of this first stage because every time I came to what appeared to be a doorway, I'd press up and nothing would happen. And I was mystified. I was like, okay, clearly I've done something wrong here. I didn't buy the correct item from the shop, or I didn't clear all the enemies from the level first, or I didn't unlock a secret passage by striking the right area with my weapon here. So I was just struggling without a clue, with no idea as to what to do to progress to the next stage, because I'd stand here and push up on the controller, on my PC Engine controller, and nothing would happen. So what's a Son Goku to do? I had to keep exploring around, going back to the shop, seeing if I could find something that would help me. While you watch me try to find something that helps, I'll give you a little more of the info about SonSon 2. The planners are Masaya Higashitani and Yoshiki Okamoto. The object design was done by Susumu Ueda and Takashi Shono. The scroll design, and I apologize if I butcher any of these names here, was done by Naoi Nonomura, Yuki Kiyotani, Yukio Kuromoto, and Miki Mikami. The sound was done by Yoshishiro Sagaguchi and Manami Goto. Special thanks went to Akira Yasuda, and the programmers were Masayuki Akahori and Yoshito Ito. It was presented by NEC Avenue. That is all the credits that I can give you for SonSon 2. So, should you buy SonSon 2 for PC Engine? Should you play SonSon 2 on a TurboGrafx 16 with an SSD 3 or an EverDrive? Should you find a ROM and emulate this on the platform of your preference? I would say yes to all three of those things, but just to be on the safe side, let's find out what it currently goes for on the open market, because you know me, I don't like to just tell you to buy things without knowing how expensive it could be to acquire them. SonSon 2 is not showing up easily on eBay because we're getting a lot of references to Dragon Ball Z, so I'm going to have to be more specific than that. Let's try SonSon 2 PC Engine. There we go. Looks like you can get it loose for $18, complete for $39, $49, $26. The prices are kind of all over the map here, but you can get a loose copy for less than $20 and a complete copy for $20 to $50, it seems. So not the most expensive game in the PC Engine library. Also not a cheap game, but perhaps cheaper by comparison to some of the well-known and infamous titles of the library. So I think if you're looking for a physical game to add to your collection, SonSon 2 would be a good one to play, especially for those who like side-scrolling platforming games with RPG-light elements. For those who like a Wonder Boy 3 style game, this one is definitely in that wheelhouse. And if I get a better handle on which items I need from the shop, maybe if I find a GameFAQs player's guide, I'm sure that I will progress even further. But the one thing that was halting my progress really had nothing to do with the shop here. It was my own impatience, and I've got to fess up and say I made a crucial mistake when I was standing at the exit. I was hitting up, expecting it to be instantaneous, like most side-scrolling games. Like in a Kirby game, when you stand in front of the door and hit up, it just happens immediately. But this game requires more patience. You have to actually hold up for more than a second and wait, and then you get the screen wipe transition from one area to the next. So the only thing that was stopping me from making progress was my inability to just wait it out and see if something happened. So if I was to do a quality of a life improvement to hack this game, I wouldn't just add Western dialogue to the game. I would add a quicker response time when you stand in front of a doorway that you would just go in immediately upon pressing up. Also, you have one life to live in SonSon 2. When you run out of health, there's no extra lives, so do keep that in mind and acquire items strategically and avoid enemy hits frequently, because once you're dead, you're starting over from the very beginning, unless of course you're using save states. I'm Mr. MegaManFan, thanks for watching.